Good morning. It's 8 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to ask Representative Kennard if he'll open in prayer.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you that your steadfast love never ceases. Your mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. We just call this day blessed with righteousness, peace, and joy in your spirit. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
We have several bills on the agenda this morning. We're going to start with House Bill 877, Representative Hogan. Chairman Hogan, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I appreciate you letting me come before you to introduce this Bill 877. LC 500029 is the bill we're speaking from. Is that what everybody has? This bill is to try to deal with a situation mainly on St. Simon's Island, and of course it'll apply statewide. We have people who are converting golf carts to low-speed vehicles. Low-speed vehicle is a vehicle that will go up to 25 miles an hour. Golf carts are about 19 miles an hour. The Glenn County Commission was trying to come up with an ordinance to deal with golf carts, to have them certified and checking in with the county commission with a sticker on the windshields and so forth. And they ran into the problem of golf carts being converted to low-speed vehicles. And of course, golf carts coming out of the factory have no VIN number and have no way of getting a tag. So when they're converted to low-speed vehicles, they don't have a way of getting a tag. And according to state law, a low-speed vehicle is supposed to have a state tag. So they'll have to go through an inspection, and this bill allows them to do that and to get a title and to get a tag. On a golf cart, it's gas that's been converted to a low-speed vehicle. They don't have to pay the tax that was brought into being by House Bill 170. If it's an electric vehicle, a low-speed vehicle, they have to pay $200 a year in order to get a tag. And basically that's what this bill does, is allow them to get an inspection and to get a tag and move to a low-speed vehicle and be regulated by the state.
Thank you. But they will have to pay $200 a year for the use of the road.
If it's a gas, they pay that at the pump.
At the pump. Okay. Do we have any questions? Number 17.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you too for the bill. I heard you say you was doing this for St. Simon, but this will be statewide.
It will be statewide, but what brought it up was a situation we have on St. Simon's, and the county commissioners are trying to get some control on golf carts and so forth on St. Simon's. We've been inundated with golf carts.
I guess my only follow-up is there a certain age limit? I'm just trying to figure out. So can an 11-year-old, 12-year-old?
No, you have to have a driver's license even to drive a golf cart. And if you're on public road, and we have kids driving golf carts on St. Simon's, and it's very dangerous.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Number 10, Representative Ridley.
I broke my microphone right off the bat. Thank you. It's going to be a good day when you start breaking stuff off the bat. My question is, would this right here also cover like four-wheelers and that kind of stuff?
No, it does not
It does
apply,
not.
just to golf carts and low-speed vehicles.
Okay. What's considered low-speed vehicles? Is that?
A vehicle that goes up 25 miles an hour.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Of course, you have to have insurance and driver's license and have to meet the regular driving regulations.
Number 11, Representative Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What about like lights and blinkers?
They have to have those too. You have to meet the same requirements that an automobile needs. And you have to have a flasher on top of the vehicle, and you have to apply to the state to get that. It's a $200 fee. $2 fee. And you have to get that permit from the state.
Is there anyone here from the department that would like to comment on this, possibly? I don't think so. At this time, I would entertain a motion.
Motion do pass.
We have a motion passed. Do we have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? You have your bill.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I'm gonna turn everything over to the vice chair, and I'm gonna come to the front. What we're gonna do first? I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and ask driver services to come to the podium. The first one I'm gonna do is the reciprocal. Ask any questions. Do 936. Last. And 905 and 936 will be hearing only today.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, present the bill.
All right, we're going to start with House Bill 905. Basically, this is a bill that gives the Commissioner of Driver Services to enter into a reciprocal agreement with foreign jurisdictions and to provide exemptions from certain requirements as far as taking the driving test and written test, and also exempts some requirements for signature in lieu of appearing in court. Basically, everywhere this an existing language, we striking country and putting foreign jurisdiction. And when it was brought to me, they was having issues with citizens from Canada that's coming to Georgia to work. They own homes on Don's already left St. Simon's Island, but anyway, they have provinces in Canada, and that's not recognized, and that was what initially got this issue started. So they brought that, so they wanted to change it from country to jurisdiction for that, and they may be others out there, but we can go through the bill. The first section of the bill deals with the registration of commercial vehicles coming over, and that's, change from jurisdiction from country to jurisdiction, just as the registration of commercial vehicles, and that's only if they have a reciprocal agreement with Georgia. The second, Section 2, deals with the operation of motor vehicles, deals with actually the license. And it's same thing. It's if the citizen holds a valid driver's license of equivalent class issued by a foreign jurisdiction, and they offer the same reciprocity with Georgia, and it's also, they have to be approved by the Department of Economic Development that it's a economic benefit to Georgia for that person to be here working or vacation or whatever during that time. Also on line 55, they shall not be authorized to enter a reciprocal agreement with any foreign jurisdiction that's designated as a sponsor of terrorism. And also 59 shall not apply to commercial driver's license. They can't enter in a reciprocal agreement for commercial driver's license. Section 3 is Uniform Driver's License Act, and the people who are exempt from such, and that's here again forced jurisdiction. And in line 76, it also allows the law enforcement officer that they may consult such person's passport, visa to verify validity of such license. And then also on line 81, any active duty armed forces of the United States who has or his immediate possession, if they're, we just passed a bill earlier this week dealing with tags for like the South Koreans that fought with the Americans. So any active duty armed forces of the United States who is immediate possession. And then I think we go to section 4, the last change, and it just, you know, here's where it exempts them from the, I think the online, the test and the driving test as well. But anyway, and I've got my expert here, and she can explain it better than I can, but
I think you did a wonderful job. We basically are just changing country, as he stated, to jurisdiction.
Okay.
And are the other countries, I mean, I know Canada's the one that was brought to mind that might fit into this category.
I'm gonna have to call our subject matter expert, our general counsel, Ms. McClendon, up.
So that's,
Morning.
Angelique McClendon, General Counsel for DDS. Other countries, we currently have reciprocity with South Korea now. The other countries, of course, Canada would be able to benefit from this because they have provinces, so we couldn't get, you know, so since you do jurisdictions, since the language has changed to jurisdictions, you can go province by province. And Germany has also expressed interest, but again, it has to be the economic development piece to it too, and Germany certainly does offer that too. So.
Okay. Okay.
any questions?
We do have a couple of questions. Representative Ridley?
Thank you. I've expressed some pause about this bill with my friend, Mr. Corbett, Chairman Corbett there. I got several questions. One, usually in the bill, whenever we change something like from country to jurisdiction, then there's a definition of jurisdiction included in the bill. And it kind of lays that out, what that will be classified under. And that's not done in this bill. If we're doing it just for 2 or 3 countries, then why do we not put those countries in there? Or, you know, under that pretense. Also, I don't understand why we're striking country and not saying jurisdiction or country in the bill. I just think that, and I don't think it's y'all's intent at all, but you know, we've all seen down here the unintended consequences of a bill. I just think that the way this thing's currently written, that there could be a lot of, I guess, unelected officials that could say that, well, they're here for economic reasons, give them a license. Well, it's from a jurisdiction, but there's not a definition of a jurisdiction, so anywhere could be a jurisdiction. So I just see a lot of things that could kind of call into question on this bill that I'd like to see kind of tightened up a little bit. But that's my comment.
And I'm amenable to those changes. I can get with Ledge Council and the jurisdiction of our country and come up with a definition of what a jurisdiction is. We can work on that.
Okay, Representative Moore.
Quick question for the council. To my understanding, if a foreign person comes in with the driver's license from that country or jurisdiction, all they have to have is their passport with them, right? And like a driver's card. I know when I go overseas, I carry a passport and a little piece of paper that's got checked off what my endorsements of driving are, and then I show up and I can rent a car. I would assume it's the same way here in the States.
Well, there's another statute that was probably changed maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but it does allow that foreign driver's license and that passport to be used, but that is like very temporarily. That's
Right.
if
So
you
this is
just-
more
if
for
you're
long
just
term,
visiting.
or
Because you know, if you're here in the state for over 30 days, you have to get a Georgia driver's license. So
Okay.
you're no longer a visitor at that point. So when you talk about, and that's why the economic development piece is there, is for people who are working here.
okay.
Essentially, or who are here for a longer term stay.
All right, and then I guess to Mr. Ridley's question, and to my understanding, a jurisdiction is a term of a higher definition than a country, and all I could think about of a country, of a foreign jurisdiction that isn't a country would probably be Palestine right now, right? So that would be, they're not technically a country, right? But they're a foreign jurisdiction, and then there's that sponsor terrorism.
And I think that, back to Representative Ridley, if we define what that is, but they're designated as a sponsor of terrorism, they shall not enter into a reciprocal agreement with that country or jurisdiction.
Okay.
Okay, does anyone else have any further questions? Like I said, this is a hearing only, so maybe we can, you know, massage it a little bit, or,
We'll get with our counsel, Ms. Doldy, and one more.
okay, well, just one more question. Mr. Ridley?
Whenever y'all, the driver's license, will they be different, or will they be limited term? What's the theory on that? How will they look?
It would be limited term. If
Okay.
you're not a citizen.
Okay.
All right. No further questions?
All right, I'm gonna do one other short bill first, then we get a 936 next. All right, the next bill, and it's gonna be at the Pleasures Committee if they wanna move on it. I'm good with it, but I'm gonna present House Bill 853 for Representative Knight, or Chairman Knight. Basically, it's your tax commissioners in each county. You got 159 counties, so you're talking about 159 tags. But to my understanding, they're the only local constitutional officer that do not have the ability to get a tag now, and that's what they're requesting. That's what this bill does. I'll stand for questions, or I might have to call my experts back up, but that's my understanding what they're doing. They're just asking the same opportunity for a tag as the other constitutional officers in the county.
I have a question, Representative McLean.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, 159 tags. I mean, my only concern is there a cost to that? It's.
Well, they would have to pay the same fee as you and I will for our, if we get a legislator tag. We got to pay the $50, so there is a fee, and we pay the manufacturing fee and the renewal every year. So it would be the cost, but it'd be increased cost to them if they want to pay it.
Thank you.
Okay. Representative Powell.
I'd like to be recognized for a motion.
We do have one other question. Hold on just a second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These tax commissioners already drive a county vehicle or a government vehicle?
Most of them in the rural counties do not. They
Okay.
drive a personal vehicle.
Okay, so what about in an urban area where they already had a government vehicle? Would this be a personal tag or government tag? Or?
It would be on, like I said before, no different than mine and your vehicle that we drive. We got the opportunity for a state rep tag or state senator tag, so it would be on their personal vehicle.
Yeah, so just to be clear then, this tag would not go on a government.
It will not go on a government
Okay.
car.
All right, seeing no other questions, Representative Powell. Do we have a second? All right, all in favor? Passes
All
on.
right, Chairman Knight has his bill. All right, now 936. I'm gonna ask my backup to come up and
Just confirm the LC number, just make sure we all have it.
and we've got some changes. It's do you have LC 39257-8S? We do not have that. Can we get some copies made? Real now, if we send it to you, can we get some copies and we get to everybody? Let's do that. Can you? Let's pause for 4 minutes.
Okay.
That's the old one. Yeah. Let's see if you'll send it to Molly and she'll. We met on this the other day, and they had some concerns. I know the Sheriff's Association had issued concerns what we were doing, and basically lines 49 through 54 is where the changes were made. Basically, they've got the option if the officer, asks for their driver's license, they got they don't have to give him their cell phone. They can, just like they do now. You hand him your plastic card, and he goes back and does what he has to do. So they're not compelled. They do not have to do that. So that's basically the changes that we made after we had the meeting the other day. So any questions, we'll stand for those.
Do we have any questions? Okay, Representative Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see where it was changed, but when we're talking about 21-year-olds, how will a 21-year-old, most of the time they're just gonna give their phone? How will they know not to give the phone?
I guess that will be an education piece on the side of us on driver services. Of course, we would educate the public as to you have an option. You have an option as to if you want to get a electronic driver's license, or whether or not you want to. Or whether or not you want to provide that phone or your hard card. So it's definitely optional.
Okay, so you guys will be marketing that.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is voluntary, that you're not forcing anyone to get the electronic driver's license. Pilot program as well. You want to talk about that?
So that's correct. It's voluntary. You don't have to have an electronic driver's license. We won't require you to have an electronic driver's license. So you have the option to get that in addition to your hard card, not one or the other, but it's in addition to. And the pilot piece of it is with the first part of it will be with law enforcement officers only, and then after that is successful, we will branch out to the retailers.
Yes, I would think we would educate law enforcement as well on.
Definitely, yeah.
Right.
We have a couple of, should this pass, we have a couple of speaking appointments already to speak to law enforcement as to what they can and cannot do and how to use this.
Okay, thank you. Representative Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question's been answered. Thanks.
All right, Representative McLean.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess we're all on the same line. My only concern is there some, this I guess could be a comment. Is there some way you can, when they get the license, that you can have this little wording to say that you don't have to give your license, just something that person could read? I'm just trying to figure a way to.
Definitely. As Representative Alexander stated, we would do a lot of marketing around that to the public. When you come in, we can put something in our customer service centers advising that this is optional. You don't have to have it, and to make people aware of their rights.
Right. But I'm just talking about on the licenses, just a disclaimer or something at the bottom, because if I open it and I read that at the bottom, I would see it in my face. But
sure.
It was just a comment.
So are you
and
saying,
a suggestion?
I'm with you. I mean, if you open the app to show the officer if there was something when you first opened that up and it
Sure.
said you do not have to, hand over this device to the law enforcement.
Sure.
Like
Yes.
a banner that would pop up.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We're not opposed to that. Yeah.
That is if the third party,
Yes.
they could obviously,
Definitely.
Okay.
On the electronic license, yes.
And my understanding, this is going on in 13 other states.
Correct.
And I haven't been told of any issues that you know of that's going on, as far as even with data breaches or security. I mean, you want to speak to what you're doing as far as against cyber attacks?
Correct. I can't speak to other states, what's going on with them, but it is going on. They do have this in 13 and counting other states going on. So, of course, just like your information that we have on our system now, it is our job to make sure that is safe and secure, and we always have measures in place to secure that.
Okay. This board's looking like a Christmas tree now. Representative Jones.
Just a quick comment to add to what you just said, Mr. Chairman, and to what Representative McLean said. I think a disclaimer there as the digital license comes up, You are not required to provide your phone to the police officer, or whatever appropriate wording, I think could indeed solve that problem.
Yeah.
So I agree with that caveat.
Okay.
Representative Kennard.
Why don't we just restrict law enforcement from taking the device to begin with, where they just cannot take it?
Right, so, okay.
I'm sorry.
I would see it like my wife, she wouldn't not even carry a purse with her if she has this option. She does all her business, Apple Pay. That way she doesn't have to carry a purse with a license in it. That would be my experience. Now, they might be other reasons, but like I say, it's voluntary. You know, the person does not have to have it. It's totally optional to that person, but they might be other reasons as well.
So we did add a line in line 52 where it starts at 51. In such instance, if a law enforcement officer demands display of the physical format, the licensee shall not be compelled to display an electronic format of his or her license, nor release his or her wireless telecommunication device to the officer. So we did put a provision in there so that the licensee would not be required to release their phone
Right.
or give their phone to the officer.
And law enforcement
Or
should know that.
display that. And that will be
not-
part of the
right.
education piece.
Right. Okay. Representative Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one final question. If this bill passes, are we just gonna get rid of the plastic cards altogether, or is it like when you renew your license, you're given that option?
Yes, we will continue to issue plastic cards, the hard card, the physical card. We'll continue to do that. It will be an option to have that in addition to your hard card. You will never currently you will never have just that electronic driver's license by itself. You would have both of them.
Okay. And then is it gonna be a cost associated with additional costs, like with you having either or?
Sure. Currently, there is no talk of cost associated right now. However, I mean, we're not sure what that provider will, but in other states, we've seen it no more than a couple of dollars, $5 at the most.
$5 additional, like if you get your hard card and then your
Correct.
digital?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Do you think it would be a fee just to get the app?
No, I don't think so. To just download the app,
Right,
no.
so, okay. All right. Representative Barton.
Thank you. It'd be more like a comment, but to alleviate some of the concerns that they're bringing up, we brought up Chick-fil-A last week, but when you
Right.
pull the app out, maybe the officer could just scan the QR code or whatever, or AirDrop, and then you would never have to
Even
hand
touch the
over.
phone, right? Well, we added that additional piece in it just because some people had some concerns about that, but you're correct.
All right, seeing no other questions, we do have someone signed up, Scott Jones. If you would, just step up and identify yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Scott Jones. I'm Acting Director of Electronic Frontiers, Georgia, and I'm also in the IT industry. I've been in the IT industry for 31 years. I'm currently a system administrator for a small consulting firm based in Alpharetta. And I've had some concerns with this. I am operating from an older copy of the bill, but I've heard, I've been listening and heard about the changes that have been made with the latest substitution. So I don't think that any of the concerns that I had were addressed by the substitute. I do greatly appreciate that law enforcement officers, based on the language of the bill, may not construe the presentation of a digital license as consent to search the device, but Georgia has no authority over federal employees. So I wonder if we've thought about what are the issues of if this license is being handed over to the TSA or any other federal authority, FBI, IRS, ICE, if there's any coordination going on with federal authorities. Because this passage in the law would not apply in that case. Another issue is that we're concerned about privacy protections. Unlike a situation with social media, you could opt out of social media. You can't really opt out of having a driver's license because it's an important identity document. Excuse me. And We're concerned about whether what a third party vendor will do with the stream of information that they have. We'd like to see some privacy protections in the bill. There is a law at the federal level. It's called the Driver's Privacy Protection Act. And if we put language in the bill that says that any vendor has to comply with Driver's Privacy Protection Act, that would protect the state's interest in complying with this federal law. So that's one way to do that, one way to handle that issue. If this is a limited trial to be rolled out gradually, we'd like to see an end date and some sort of evaluation process spelled out, and how things would change as the trial is over. We'd like to see that covered in the bill. There are no security standards and no security framework specified in the bill. There's no provision for independent review or testing. We don't want to get into an Iowa caucus situation where we have an app being rolled out quickly and it's not been tested at scale and it causes problems. We did have the discussion here about the plastic licenses, and I'm reassured that they'll continue, but do we need to make it clear that with the passage in the bill, that the plastic license will carry equal weight to the digital equivalent? Is there a roadmap to phase out the plastic cards? I'm not hearing one today. And, my concern would be about a person who can't afford to carry a digital device. Would that cause a problem for them down the road if there's a phase out plan? Also, is there an allowance in the bill for a failure of the device, such as running out of battery, something like that? Maybe you've gone digital only, you run out of the battery, all of a sudden you don't have your license on you, or some other failure in the device. The devices fail from time to time for reasons other than battery also. And I also wonder if we need an equivalence passage in the law to cover private party uses of the license for identity. The example is check cashing. I wonder if there needs to be language in the bill for that. And we're also wondering if voter ID is covered and whether it's permissible for voter ID and if that's going to cause any security problems or other problems at the polling place. And we have printed a copy. The page that you should have with the green logo goes over these particular points. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer. We also have Xavier Ash is here. He's in information security. He's in the information security business. It's something I have to think about, but I don't have an official information security job. So if you have any questions, you could direct those to either one of us.
Okay, we do have a question. Representative McLean.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for bringing that to our attention as well. I guess my only concern is we have 13 other states that have this already. So what are the concerns that you ever heard from those 13 other states that they have not? Okay.
So Xavier, you said that there was a state that was either vetoed or did not pass their bill?
If you would, just identify yourself too.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Xavier Ash, information security professional. I work for a large bank here in Atlanta. Yes, so we do have 13 other pilots. There's been a number of different legislation movements to allow for these pilots to move forward, and some have needed adjustments in language to allow for those. And so far, there's only been that I've been able to find about 2 or 3 states that have gone forward with it. I think it's interesting. I think it's Louisiana that was the first ones. They do charge $6.99 for the app. So we always say we're getting promises that we won't be charged on that app. That is a concern. In the end, when we start pulling in these vendors that are obviously pushing very hard to take on their products, we need to make sure that we have that we have the ability to evaluate and make sure that those vendors have the appropriate standards. At the federal level, they're looking at they're starting to enforce a federal review of their security standards. We don't have anything yet at the state level, but as we continue to innovate and bring these new technologies, in lieu of a statewide control, to be able to ensure that our vendors are not selling our information, that they have the appropriate security standards in place. We need to make sure that for each of these cases that we do our due diligence.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't understand my question. My question was, what was the problems? Specific. Is there any problems that those 13 other states had? Not, not to mumble jumble. Don't get me
I
wrong.
understand. I apologize. To be more direct, there hasn't been anything specific that I can sit there and say, here's how this failed. That these are general concerns that as we move forward, we need to make sure that we're covered for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, and I would agree, and again, this is optional. I would pay $10 to have it on my phone, because I like technology, and I trust that our department will, do due diligence and make sure that, it's hack-free.
I hope so too as well. Like I said, as soon as we grant this third party access to our information, that then increases our chance for that situation to occur.
Right.
And just want to make sure that
Because I worry every day about banking. I do online banking with and I worry about that every day as well. And you're in the banking business, right? So I'm hoping.
Banking is covered by federal regulations,
Right.
And so that is what ensures that you can feel safe about banking. We don't have any federal regulations for this particular situation, and so I am not as certain that this vendor will have the same standards as a federal bank.
And so you think federal regulations are better than what we would do locally as a state?
There is no statewide standard for security regulations for vendors that we use as a state vendor. Often we, as part of the RFP process and bringing those in, we will leverage the same because that's what's there. There's the federal standard. But as we move forward here, these are the type of concerns, and obviously. Without a federal or a statewide regulation that says all third parties working with the state must meet this federal security regulation, we could be introducing ourselves in a situation that would have us in the news, and we definitely don't want that.
Okay, we have no other questions. So, you want to wrap it up, or?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
All right, again, I'd like to thank the committee. I just reiterate what you said. Again, this is optional. They brought up the issue if your battery goes dead on your phone or whatever. Sometimes I lose my wallet. Most of the time, my wife misplaces it, though.
Or you just forget your wallet.
And you still have the plastic card. But
right.
Anyway, we will
Okay.
continue on this Tuesday, and thank you for the debate.
All right, thank you.
We have one other bill on the agenda, House Bill 66. Representative Hughley, and this is a bill we heard last year and passed out. I'm going to ask her to come to the mic and present her bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your cooperation with me since I had to be in two places at the same time this morning.
I already had you a pinch hitter.
All right. Well, I'm sure he would have done a great job. House Bill 66 is a simple bill. It just simply says that for those entities that have specialty license plates for automobiles or trucks, they can have the same license plates for motorcycles. And this was requested by the members of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, and they're here this morning, and there are others that are interested in that. Last year, the department said that they were changing over their operating system, and that's the reason why it waited till this year. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
All right, and we're not creating new tags. This is
For existing
specialty tags that's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 17.
Thank you,
President
Mr.
Song.
Chairman, and And thank you for this bill too. I guess my question, do you ride motorcycles?
Only on the back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Seeing no other questions, we are short on time. We've got two members in the audience signed up. 17? No?
No, I was just going to at the right appropriate time.
All right. Marvin Broadwater, come and state your name and who you're with.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Mr. Secretary, and committee members. My name is Marvin Broadwater Sr. I reside in the Fountain City of Columbus, Georgia. At this time, I would like for all the members of Omega Psi Phi fraternity to please stand and remain standing during this presentation. I am the immediate past Georgia State representative of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. And on behalf of the current state representative, we are here to solicit and ask for the passage of House Bill 666 out of committee. I would like to begin by thanking you for the passage of House Bill 736, which enable us to donate proceeds for the issue and renewal of this specially licensed plate for motor vehicles across the state of Georgia. It allowed us to provide scholarships to our undergraduate members. While it is true our members with motorcycles will display an enormous amount of pride by purchasing an Omega Psi Phi motorcycle tag, the ultimate goal is to garner funds to support scholarship from the sales and renewal of such a tag. One of our cardinal principles of this organization is scholarship. This principle mandates that we as an organization continue to find additional funds for the next generation to assist with the rising costs and unseemly uncapped ceiling of college tuition. It is imperative we find ways to produce more scholarship funds. I will yield the balance of my time to a member of our organization who has received one of our tag scholarships, Mr. Nick Jenkins.
Thank you, Brother Broadwater. Top of the morning, everyone. My name is Nick Jenkins. I'm currently a senior of Morehouse College and a 2019 initiative of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Just a few months ago, I was fortunate enough to receive the Georgia State Tag Scholarship. Scholarship in general is a vital, and it should be at the forefront of everyone's mind. In my personal opinion, scholarship enables one to do well and be well-versed on a variety of topics, as well as to open your mind on what you want to do with your life. When applying for this scholarship opportunity, I realized that it never hurts to apply. It also brings one out of your comfort zone. Because of this scholarship, I was able to pay my tuition and further my education and to graduate on time with a bachelor's degree in finance. Thank you.
Mr. Jenkins, where are you from?
I'm from Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. I'm glad to have you this morning.
Thank you.
Number 10, Representative Ridley.
I just got one question. Did you have to shave this morning before you showed up?
No, sir.
I can tell.
Number 7.
Second that.
All right, we have a motion by Representative Ridley and a second by Representative Douglas. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. You have your bill.
Clickety-click, 66.
And we've got a few minutes to spare. Demetrius, is Miss